I want to show you some simple techniques that will help you when working in gouache. I've done a very simple leaf shape here and put a light wash of green over it, leaving some areas light and some areas dark, and now it is dry, and just a plain yellow over the center of this flower. So now I'm going to take some green, and let's say I want to have one side a little bit darker. I can run some green paint over here. It's quite a bit darker than what I've got down already. And then turn my page around so I can come at it from this side, coming right up against the edge, because you have much better control when the point of your brush is near that edge. And then I take all the paint out of my brush and just dab my brush and go like this to blend it. And then turn it around with just a little bit of water in your brush and blend. And that's how you can blend color. We can make it darker on this side if we want by just adding a little bit. This is just straight up blue. It's indigo blue I put there. And now I'm going to do a bead of sap green. And just by running them together, just running it through, it's wet enough that they then blend really well together. And if we want to make that a little bit darker on this side, I'm going to turn this piece of paper over, go along this edge again. Don't want that hard line, so just the damp brush, and I blend. There you go. This side, let's try something different here. We're going to leave a little bit of space for that center vein. And I'm going to put a little bit of overall color here, which I'm going to blend. Turn my paper around, do the same thing over here, which I can get a nice edge because I've turned my paper. Wipe, blot, blend. There you go. If I would want to put some veins along inside of this leaf, we'll have to let this dry before we can do that. So while we're letting that dry, I want to show you over here. Say you wanted to put some texturing into this. First you would mix a little bit of shadow. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of a light brown and put that on. I think I'm going to take some, then I'm going to take some of this yellow that's a little more color in it, and then blend. So now we've got, I think I'll lighten that up. If you need to lighten, just damp brush and pick up, and that'll pick it up. If that's not enough, then you can kind of just lightly almost scrub, and then take your paper towel and blot, and it lifts off color. So if you feel like you've put on too much color, you can always blot it off. Now I want to have a little bit more along this edge. So we're going to just put a little bit more on here. Okay, so leaf is dry, back to leaf. I'm gonna take a dark green and I'm just going to draw a couple of veins. That's good to start. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of green in the brush and I'm gonna put that right up against that edge, dragging those together, smoothing it out as I go. And then before that dries completely, just blend the edge. And if that doesn't do the trick and you want to add some more color, go ahead and now's the time to do that. And that gives you a really nice light to dark feeling to making those veins. And of course, if that's too distinct, you can go over it with a light wash of a light green, a yellow, whatever you want to use. Here, I'm gonna take a kind of a, well, it's a gray, kind of a blue-gray, and up against this edge, we're working, these are gonna be white. I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna blot my brush and then just run it over here. And then with the light gray paint, you can add a bit more lines, but leaving some of that white, and you've got the petals of a daisy. So there are some very basic techniques that you can use.